Hello, it's me, Tfal Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this month's Korean toy reviews. And for this month, I've decided to go for a toy from a Korean toy line that I've previously only bought one figure from before, and I thought that was going to be the only one I was going to buy. And the figure, of course, I'm referring to is back in December I got hold of this guy, Dino Core Evolution Mega D Fighter Tyranno. And I got him as part of that. Back in the last year, I was getting my Korean toys to a theme. The theme was red Tyrannosaurs, and I got Hello Carbots Tyracools from the movie line. Did a review on that, and also I did a review on this guy. So yeah, this is the first. At that point, it was the first and only Dino Core figure that I owned and had bought. He's a big chunky red bot that transforms into a robotic Tyrannosaur. This figure is from season 4 of the show. The previous 3 seasons, it was set on Earth. The robots they had in that were kind of like Super Sentai things. You had these little animal cars called the Dino Cores, which then formed together with other robotic dino beasts to form these gestalts, and they used to fight against these alien bad guys. And then in season 4 they flipped the scripts and they got carted off, they got transported off to the Dino planet, which has been overrun by the dark forces, and they have to fight against that. And Rex, the main character of the series, he gets a new Dino character to aid him in the fight, and that's this guy. This is Tyranno. This is his sort of D-Fighter mecha mode. He's a big chunky bot. He's got lots of loud ratchets, decent amount of articulation for a Korean toy. Really cool, heavy, chunky, solid figure, and did a review of him, and he's pretty good. And as I said, I thought that was going to be the only figure I was going to get from the Dino Core line, because there wasn't anything else in the toy line that was of any particular interest. Then in season 5 they introduced a few more toys to the line, and one of which I was looking at it and thinking, that looks kind of interesting, but I didn't actually sort of bite the bullet on it early on, because I'd seen a few reviews on it and I thought, well, it's not that great, I'm not really that bothered about it. But anyway, just recently I've been looking for other things to buy. I'm kind of running out of Korean things to buy for a reasonable price, because the prices are going up, and all the Brexit uncertainties making it difficult for me to justify spending the money I do on Korean toys these days. But this month I saw that the price of this guy had come down a bit, and I quite like that he's in a really nice colour, and he's when I rewatched the episodes from season 3 where this guy gets introduced, he's a pretty cool character. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And the guy I've gone for is Dino Core Evolution Mega D Fighter Krono. And this is his Krono in his beast mode. And before we actually get a decent look at the toy, let's have a look at the packaging. This is the box, very big chunky box, typical of the Dino Core boxes. It's got the Dino Core Evolution logo here. Big window, blister pack cell to hold the figure into place, and a very shiny cardboard sheet in the back. And then you've got pictures of his beast mode on one side, some pictures on the back including Leo, which is his little pilot dude. He's a little energetic little kid. He's quite funny and quirky, and he turns out to be his Dino Core pal. And you've got the robot mode on this side. So that's the box. And instructions, fairly simple sheet of black and white instructions, very easy to follow, because the transformation on this guy is very simple and intuitive, so you don't really need the instructions for it. So yeah, here is Krono in his beast mode, and he's supposed to be a robotic Kronosaurus, which is a kind of mosasaur. If you know what a mosasaur is, it's a swimming lizard with a big sort of toothy mouth at the front. They have 4 flippers and a tail, and they swim in the water, and they were voracious predators. And in the last couple of years they discovered a new species of mosasaur, which they named the Kronosaur. And I'm going to put a few images up for you now. So there you have some images of a skeleton of the Kronosaur that they discovered, and an artist impression of what they thought the creature looked like. Yeah, so what can I say about his alt mode, or his beast mode? Now, it's supposed to be like a swimming lizard. He's got like a big snout at the front. He's got these large fins at the front, these little tiny fins at the back, and a tail. Now, in the show, he moves around pretty fast when he's in beast mode. He flies through the air rather than swimming through the water, and he's a pretty cool and comical character in the actual show, Krono. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to get him. But the beast mode, I think, is a little bit awkward looking. Then again, Tyrannosaur mode was a little bit odd looking. The proportions of it were a bit off because the legs were too far forward on the torso. It made it look unbalanced. This thing, it's the tail. I mean, the tail's not straight. It sort of goes in this sort of hump at the back, and that's because, you know, you've got the robot kibble sort of folded up underneath. You've got the shins of the legs and the arms folded up underneath. And again, these little fins at the back, I think they could be a little bit bigger. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, making the engineering work on the toy as akin to the CGI animation is a bit different, obviously. Does have a big mouth full of jagged teeth. Articulation on this mode, there's a little bit. I mean, you can sort of bend the head down, but it does start to expose robot mode head. The flippers can sort of fold up and down, and they can fold backwards and forwards. The rear flippers just hinge up and down, and the tail doesn't do anything. So there's not really much going on in his beast mode, apart from he's got these pretty cool colours. He's got this lovely emerald green, which I quite like, and the rest of the figures all picked out in the sort of gold and yellow and black and white, and it looks pretty decent. So transformation this guy is pretty simple. Bring him up. Now, first of all, split the legs, then twist these pieces that way, fold up the heel spurs, then you take the shin pieces, fold them down, clip them in, then fold out the feet, and that's the legs done. Oh yeah, you flip these little panels back. Then the arms, fold those down, and then you bring those back, and then the arms, you sort of rotate them forwards, and then flip out the fists, and then finally the head reveal. Bring the Dino head right down, click it into place, and there's the robot mode head. And here we have Krono in his robot mode, and he looks pretty cool. Decent size, nice colour breakup. He's got like the emerald green. He's got a lot more of the gold and the black here, and a bit more white. He's also got some touches of silver in a few places as well. Pretty cool looking bot. He's got this sort of, it's like a hat type thing over the top of his head, and he's got a decent head sculpt. And he's a big, heavy, chunky toy, just like Tyranno. In fact, let's do a quick size comparison with Tyranno. There he is next to Tyranno. He's a little bit smaller than Tyranno. Tyranno's a lot more bulkier. And while we're on the size comparisons, let's have a look at him next to Combiner Wars Megs. As you can see, he's pretty much a solid leader class size bot. He looks pretty cool, and like I said, I mean, in the show, you watch the show, even though it's all in Korean and I can't understand a word of it, he seems like a really funny sort of, you know, character, Krono. And his pilot, Leo's pretty cool as well. I like Leo. So yeah, that's Krono in his robot mode. Articulation, he's a little bit restricted, unfortunately, but then again, he's a Korean toy, what do you expect? The head does not move. Shoulders, They go all the way around. You can actually fold the arm, then you can have the arms folded back to give you a cleaner silhouette, or you can have them folded like that, which gives you a little bit, and then you could even fold them out if you really wanted to. But the arms go all the way around, go out to there. Has a bicep swivel, which is part transformation, so that's neither here nor there. Unfortunately, the elbows only go to 45 degrees. Nothing at the waist. Hips only spread out that far. Now you can flip that up. Legs go back that far, go forwards that far, and then the knee, it's got like a 45-degree bend on the knee, and the toe wiggles up and down. So he's not the most articulated thing, could probably do with a few more joints, but he's kind of bulky, just like Tyranno was. So sometimes, some places, I mean, the legs are quite thick. That's why I think he's got restricted articulation on the knees, and because of the Dino head coming down here, that means they couldn't have had a working waist joint on it, but not that they'd have bothered with that anyway. So yeah, he's decently posable, bit restricted. You're limited to what poses you can get him into. I struggle to get the pose for the thumbnail, to get a decent pose. But he's still a decent toy. He's nice and big and heavy. He's easy to work with. You know, it'd be a good toy to give to a young kid because, I mean, typical Korean figure. It's solidly built. You know, it's got this high quality, you know, shiny Korean plastic, which is very durable. And he's a decent toy. And I'm so glad that I got him. But there's not really much more I can say about it, really. You can, if you want to, you can have the. You can flip the Dino head up to have him as a walking lizard man. But yeah, so that's about as much as I can say about it. It's a decent figure, kind of interesting. He's a pretty cool character in the show. I mean, you can pick him up off eBay for about 45 quid at the moment. He's come down in price. So yeah, so that's Dino Core Evolution Mega D Fighter Krono. Now, as I said in the previous month, I might be slowing down on the Korean buying toys. I mean, I would say I struggled to buy them this month to get my two KTRTs. I mean, I had no problem getting this guy, but the other one that I'll be reviewing in a couple of days' time, because it's due to be delivered on Monday. We'll see about that. Yeah, so that's been my review of this. It's only a short review because there's not really much to him. I've been TFL Wilderness. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.